I know what you're thinking. This guy must be high. Of course you can't survive. And you'd be right, except I'm not high. It would be practically impossible to survive in Attack on Titan. But what if I told you there is always a way to make up a BS reason? This will only be covering from season 1 to season 4 part 1. Realistically, I should wait for part 2, but I don't want to. So we gotta set some rules first. 1. You have no idea about Attack on Titan. You only know what a standard background character in the series would know. You can't just try and suck Eren off. And 2, there is no 2. Now, let's see if you would really survive in Attack on Titan.
Let's go!
First of all, let's just go over your chances of survival in general. I'd say your chances are actually a tiny bit better than you think, going from 0 to 1%. Of course, your biggest threat are the Titans. This island is full of giant naked humans. Or, if you're just completely screwed that day, they could be skinless. During the day is when you should be afraid to walk down the dark alley and see that a Titan somehow got in. Whether you're out in the field or someone not trying to be an anime protagonist in this world, there will always be a moment in which you're like, oh, I'm really about to die. Titans are no joke. They could be black people when we smell chicken and run like our life depends on it. And you'll be able to do nothing about it but just bend over for them at that point. There is no indication on whether you got your standard dumb Titan, which you do actually have a fair amount of survival from, or if this thing is Jesus reincarnated for the 17th time. And then we have Eren's dumbass that can't even talk, and he's meant to be the godfather of the Titans. Now, the fact that you have no idea when it's abnormal is what really adds to the terror of Titans. Your one saving grace for Titans is the fact that they're all male. Genderless was purely a ruse to hide this fact. As we all know, men are dumb as hell, so that increases your chances of survival even more. The moment a female Titan shows up, oh, oh my god, please step on it. We'd be screwed if they were all like this. And of course, if it was any of the Titan shifters, you best start praying. Against a Titan, your chances are about a good 5%.
Sup, bitch?
The fuck?
Food is actually a really big thing you'd have to manage. You're basically living on scraps for the majority of this Titan invasion. You best believe I ain't living on one piece of bread for the day I see that one person look away from their bread for 1 second. That shit mine now. You're starving, huh? That ain't my problem. This is the one and only benefit people have for living on a farm. You can eat all you want, but you have a higher chance of dying. There will always be ups and downs in whichever condition you live in, unless you're royalty or you live within Wolcina, which even they have their problems. However, I have always wondered why there wasn't that one person that was like, you know, we could eat Titans. I know it basically disintegrates, but surely there must be a way to preserve it, right? This wouldn't be cannibalism. Okay, it kinda would be, but you gotta do what you can to survive out here. So realistically, it relies on, can you survive with very little food? Do you have any form of common sense to not risk your life to try and fight Titans? And whether or not you're just lucky. Luck is pretty much your saving grace here, but let's move on to whether you'd actually survive the events that took place.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So you have your easier route. Then you have your I'm trying to die route. We'll briefly look at the easier route. a standard person getting by, eating bread. Oh, just a giant red man staring over the wall. Good old Shiga and Sheena. Not a big deal. Now here's the thing. If you live near the front of the wall here, you deserve to die. What were you thinking? I do not care if this wall has been here for centuries or generations, I don't care. I ain't living at the front line of this wall. You don't need to be a god to have thought rationally to have lived in either the middle or the back of the district. If you live next to a volcano and there is a wall between you and it, oh, this wall has been built here for generations and it's never been broken down. You're not gonna think, oh, let me take this house right here. You should still have some sort of precaution, you know, like what if they get in. So if you live in the middle or the back, chances are you're home free. You see, if they were smart, they would have attacked during the night and guaranteed that kill streak. Because even if Titans are lethargic during this time, who's awake? Rhino bursts in, runs over everyone, would have been an easy win. Problem solved. Regardless, the evacuation is done. You now live in trust, and quite frankly, aside from a little jump scare 5 years later, you would pretty much be fine just living on oxygen at this point. So as long as you're smart, you'd actually be chilling as long as you lived in a town. To all those farmers and people living out in the sticks, who told you this was a good idea? Like, I would rather be homeless in the town, shaking my ass for money, than be out in the middle of nowhere. Where is this? And out of nowhere, some fat titan could literally walk up to me, and could sit on me, and I'd be dead. Who am I screaming to? My dead horse. So that's the easier route where you have a good chance of survival, but ultimately the more boring route. Now for the real path. All of those that are trying to speedrun life, being a scout. Honestly, I don't know how you would live. Whether or not you go to Shiganshina on that day, maybe you called in sick that day. Realistically, with the amount of expeditions you go on, you gotta rely on some ounce of plot armor, because chances are you would not be prepared for an armored titan running at you at a full sprint, because you're dead. Like, you have no chance. Let's say you were to miraculously survive though. Survived against the beast titan throwing small boulders at your face, in which only 9 people survived. Survived a whole nuke. Or simply survived against Annie literally boxing people and letting no one escape. First of all, you'd have to be a god. And second of all, you wouldn't even be done here. You thought it was going to be all calm from here on out? Nope, you gotta go rescue this guy called Eren, who's looking like your local drug dealer right in the middle of enemy territory. Surprisingly though, your best choice of action would be to sign up to the scouts. I know what you're thinking already. This is the worst choice, but this would actually increase your chances. All of that experience with the ODM gear would be very important. Now of course you would have to go on those expeditions, but if you just think, you could easily avoid titans. You'll just have to hoe everyone else. You see that titan over there? You don't go. Wait for someone else. Yeah, I got your back, I'm right behind you. Take your time and see what kind of titan it is, and then decide after you see them get bodied. You realize this ain't your fight. Yeah, have you seen Connie? Connie? Who's Connie? Oh, we just got a report that he was last with you. Oh, you know that one bald kid. Oh. No, I still don't know who you're talking about. This plan is foolproof. Now I have no idea whether you can leave the scouts and just go back to living your normal life, or whether you sign your soul away. But if you can leave, take that chance immediately. Now you may be wondering, okay, so what would be the point of signing up? If you're just living your life, you know, the Titans invade, or look, a dead body with some ODM gear and some fuel left. Let me take this, thanks buddy, and get out of here. Or just kill the Titan even though you have no reason to do this. Your survival has been increased tenfold. Overall it will boil down to luck like I said earlier, and also, are you smart and are you willing to hoe people? You essentially have to act like a scumbag and you'll do just fine in this world. So leave a like if you want, or subscribe, that would be nice too. Or do neither, you know. We do still have that option, but like, yeah. I will cry.
I've been at it on my own time, no, no, no. Flexing